Welcome to Education Lifeline. This is Trishita Paul, and today we will be constructing recursive and explicit rules for arithmetic sequences. Now, if you haven't watched our previous video on arithmetic sequences, the video will be linked in the description below, as well as on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Please check that video out before watching this one. Recall from our previous video that the general recursive rule for an arithmetic sequence is f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 plus d for n is greater than 2 given f of 1, greater than or equal to 2, given the value of f of 1. And the general explicit rule for an arithmetic sequence is f of n is equal to f of 1 plus d times n minus 1. Now, in this first problem, we are asked to find the recursive and explicit rules given the table below. So here we have a table with the position number and the terms of our sequence from the first to our sixth terms. And for a recursive rule, we need to give the value of f of 1, or the value of the first term, and we need to know our common difference. So let's go ahead and find our common difference by subtracting the second term from the first term, and so on. So 16 minus 21 is negative 5. 11 minus 16 is also negative 5. And just to make sure that this actually is a sequence, we can go ahead and do the same process for all of our terms, and we see that we have a common difference of negative 5. Now we also need to give our first term, the value of our first term. So let's also take note of f of 1, which is 21. So now, simply to write a recursive rule, we just write f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 plus, or in this case, minus 5 from the plus d. And we also state that the value of f of 1 is 21. That's going to be our recursive rule. Now for the explicit rule, we also need to know the value of f of 1 and also the value of d, but it's just a totally different equation. So for this explicit rule, we have f of n is equal to the value of f of 1, which is 21, plus d, so minus 5 times n minus 1. And oftentimes you might be asked to simplify explicit rules, so that leaves us with 21 minus 5n plus 5. And simplifying that down even further, we get negative 5n plus 26. That is going to be our recursive and explicit rules for this table. Now let's try finding the recursive rule given the explicit rule and vice versa. So here we are given our recursive rule, f of 3 is equal to f of 2 plus 9, where f of 1 is equal to 7. And to find our explicit rule, we need to know, again, we need to know f of 1, or the first term, and we need to know d. We're given f of 1 from our recursive rule, and to find d, we can follow the rules of recursive rules, so d is going to be 9. D is equal to 9. Now we can simply plug that into our explicit formula, so we get f of n is equal to f of 1, or 7, plus 9 times n minus 1. Now, just in case you were asked to simplify explicit formulas, let's go ahead and simplify. So f of n is equal to 7 plus 9n minus 9. which leaves us with 9n minus 2. Now on the flip side, here we are given our explicit rule, f of n is equal to negative 2n plus 10. So that's our simplified version of the explicit rule, and we need to find the recursive rule. And to find the recursive rule, once again, we're going to need our first term, and we're also going to need the common difference. And we can simply plug in 1 for n to find our first term. So if we do that, f of 1 is going to be equal to negative 2 times 1 plus 10, which is negative 2 plus 10, or 8. So f of 1 is equal to 8. Now looking at this equation, we know that the coefficient of the n variable will always be our common difference, but to double check, we can also do f of 2. So f of 2 is equal to negative 2 times 2 plus 10, which is equal to 6. So that means we have a common difference of negative 2. And to write our recursive rule, we have f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 minus 2, where f of 1 is 8. If this video was helpful, please drop a like and subscribe to Education Lifeline. Be sure to watch our next video on finding arithmetic sequences given 2 terms, and check the description below for more helpful resources. We include more tips as well as practice problems in the description of every video. Please make sure to leave any questions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.